The politics of languages in education, issues of access and participation in higher education. Now we move on to another article that deals directly and indirectly to issues of bilingualism or the issues of education, to be more specific, in a multilingual context. So what we are saying is that whatever choices we make within a language policy, in macro language policy, that is the language policy that relates to the workings of the government, or to the more specific micro language policy of the languages in education, they have implications beyond just education. They have implications for relative poverty. And this is what this study actually explores. So what we are saying is essentially in this article, we are saying that language in education policy in Pakistan, which has been debated over several years now and which has been shifting also, should be seen in the context of the wider language policy of Pakistan. That is, these two policies, micro and macro, need to be seen in relation to each other, because when we choose languages to be taught in schools, this is not just for preparing people or students for their academic work. It has much long time implications for the lives of those people and for their potential to flourish in their lives later on. So more specifically, we will be looking at this Urdu versus English in the education system, and this study actually looks at the dual system of Pakistan, the mainstream schools, that is the private schools and the government-run schools, and we look at what are the different languages that are being taught there, and what is their impact. So the point of departure for this study is at the time when the students are either in their last year of secondary school, or they have finished the secondary school and now 5 years apart they are doing something in real life in situations. So we try to find that impact, and then we do a kind of a comparison between those who graduate from private schools or who complete their secondary education from public schools, and we see that how different languages that they have been taught has an implication for their lives. So definitely it deals with perceptions, it deals with the experiences that they go through. So to do that, the study uses qualitative methodology, which uses interviews, participant observation, and we will talk about what are the different other methods that the study uses. So the main things that the study will focus on will be the hegemony of English language, how there is a discriminatory distribution of the linguistic capital, like what are the different languages that are distributed in these different schooling systems, and what is the impact on the lives of people who go through this experience. And then we will also talk about the devaluation of local languages and what is the experience like for those people whose languages are devalued. And then all this is being explored in relation to the relative poverty issues, that is inequality with relevance to each other. And let me remind you also that poverty is of different kinds. Poverty is not just economic, poverty is multidimensional, and this is what the concept that we are taking with us in this article. And when we talk about relative poverty, then we are not talking about absolute poverty. In absolute poverty, you have a kind of a threshold, and you say, all right, anyone beyond this nutrition level, beyond this income level, falls under the poverty line. But in relative poverty, you compare people with other people living in the same community or in the same geographical area. And we also do something different over here. We'll use the capability approach to human development, which is a different way to look at the question of languages in education in Pakistan. And then we also use Pierre Bourdieu's social critical theory. Now, this is all about how, when we choose languages within the education system, which is nested within a larger specific language policy, that is of Pakistan in this case, what is the impact of that policy or the language in education policies within a multilingual context in terms of relative poverty.